weather outside is not that cold, and if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Country with Celine. On today's show, we have Mitch Zorn. Mitch, how are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for asking. All right. Well, it's a beautiful day today in BC, is it not?
It is. It is. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Do some
Yeah.
fishing.
For sure. And it's a gorgeous day to talk about country music, because when is it not a nice day to talk about country music? So you just released your latest single back last year. It's called The Rust, Dan Bateman. So just talk about what else we can expect from you this year.
Yeah, that's going to be, I did The Rust and then I put out Two Lane right after that. And those two songs are going to be on a full length album we've been working on the last few months. So we just put the finishing touches on that. We're working on the content and all the rollout and all that stuff. So that's probably going to come out this spring, summer. And we got 8 more songs to go with those two. So,
Okay, 8 more songs to go with that. So what song out of those 8 would you say that you can't wait for listeners to hear?
oh man, that's a tough one because, like we were chatting before the recording started, I've just been all over, and a lot of these songs were kind of put together based on my life the last 10 years. So each one of them has a different story and has a different thing I like about it. But there's one on there right now called Back to You, and it's like a 2-chord. I want to say it's almost like R&B, soul meets country meets rock kind of thing. It's hard to really explain, but that's the one I like the most sonically. So it's
Oh,
good.
that's going to be exciting to hear then.
Yeah.
Now,
for
do you
sure.
have like maybe a party song on there that people will be blasting and jamming out to?
Oh, I'm not happy that you asked me that question because I'm not really good with the party music. I've got a couple summer that lean more toward like summer stories, but nothing really party.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Eventually.
but upbeat. Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of my challenge as a songwriter right now is trying to find those songs.
Okay, it's okay. We love upbeat songs anyways, but I'm sure eventually you'll release a nice party song like Red
Yeah.
Soda or something.
Yeah. You got to have at least 1 or 2 of them for sure.
You gotta have some drinking songs on there.
Yeah.
How about any collabs? Are we gonna see any other artists hopping on?
Probably not on this album. Like I said, there's Dane Bateman's on The Rust. I've got a couple co-writes on there. Other than that, I wrote all the other songs myself. So no collaborations this time. I'd love to work with some artists in the future, but that's where we're at now.
So if you would like to work with an artist in the future, let's kind of throw this one out there. Who would be a dream collab for you?
Well, within like my circle, I know you've been interviewing a lot of like our circle, the Renaissance boys, Zach, and I'm not sure if you've talked to Mark yet or not, but I'm a big fan of all those guys. I think Mark would be a sweet collab. I would love to do a female, like a male female duet kind of thing. So Tegan's a good friend of mine, Tegan Gase. So I'd like to reach out to her, maybe do some writing, get a song out. I don't know, whatever comes up. I'm always down to just collab, build something. So
Well, those are both good artists that you chose there. To have a female on a track with you, I feel like that is something we all need to hear. So
yeah,
I'm sure it's gonna happen one day.
yeah, for sure.
And I was taking a look at your Instagram, and you started writing songs way back when. So
Yeah.
let's just kind of get into this a little bit. So when did you realize that country music was something that you wanted to pursue?
Well, I never really, how do I put this? I really like thought of pursuing music as a career more than I just grew up in a very musical family. My grandma's a singer, my dad's a singer, all my aunties are singers. So I was in band with my dad from the time I was like 9 years old till I was 20 or whatever. And that was a country blues band. So I was always into country. But like I said, it was just part of my life. I was just always singing. It wasn't really a thought. And then as I got older and graduated and decided I was going to try to go for it, country just seemed like the most comfortable lane to do that. So
That's so fair. That's
yeah.
adorable though. You were in a band with your dad, and you come from a musical family. That's awesome. But
Yeah.
have you ever thought about maybe getting your dad on a track or B on stage?
Yeah, absolutely. Like he's a bass player I've been bugging him a lot, so I'd love to get him out to Vancouver and do some recording, get him on a few tracks, and then obviously when we start playing shows and festivals and stuff, I'd love to get him out there. So
You
it'd
have to.
be super exciting. Yeah.
It will be a moment that he will never forget. Especially like
No,
your son. He'd be just so proud of you.
no doubt. No doubt. No, we'll make it happen for sure. One day.
We got to make it happen. For what if you could pick any festival then that you can make that happen for your dad? What festival would it be at?
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. I would just start shooting for all the big ones. I don't know. Boots. The most people, I guess. So I'd say Boots.
I'd say Boots too. Boots pulls in a lot of people, especially when it comes to the headliners at night. That place it's insane.
Yeah, I've never actually been, but it looks like a zoo. It looks like a lot of fun.
It is a zoo. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot to take into, especially because it's like a 4-day thing and you're camping out. And then the shower situation is not the best part. I've never personally camped there. I only like trailer there. I wouldn't actually camp out. But it's still an experience regardless. And all the artists that go there, they love it. So I feel like that should be on the bucket list next.
For sure. That's the big one.
It is the big one. And now just talking about writing, just like that itself, what's your writing process like?
It's kind of changed over the years, but now typically it depends on what I'm listening to because I listen to so much music and I'm always trying to find new music, new melodies to kind of spark my inspiration and keep going. I don't really believe in having to have inspiration. I think you just got to sit down and do it, but it's easier when you're interested in certain things. So I just kind of sit down and start playing chords, start humming melodies, and then I find a melody I like. And I think like a lot of songwriters, I've got a couple note pages in my phone full of titles and lines, and I'm always adding lines every day. Like I'll hear somebody say something, add a line or whatever. So that's kind of the way I thought about it and just kind of piece it together.
That's totally fair. That's what every artist says. I have quite a bit of friends like in the industry, and I'll be writing them something or I'll say something, and they'll be like, "Wait, that's a song. Let me."
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you're welcome. Can I have like credit on that, please?
Yeah, and that's like the Nashville way too in country is to have like a clever title with one or two meanings and then one really interesting line and then a story that kind of unfolds the tagline in a different way.
Yeah. Ashley Cook is really good at that.
Yeah.
Like really good. I'm like, oh, okay, like these are good songs. Even Josh Ross, I've noticed he even did it before. I'm like, I like it when like you can pull two meanings from that song. It makes it so complete. But Mitch, big news. Signed your first record deal with 604 Records. So take me through that. How was it when you finally got to put pen to paper and ink that?
Yeah, it's wild. The timing of it's actually pretty wild. Not to make it too long of a story, but like I said, I spent a lot of years, 5 years in Texas and Nashville and just writing songs, trying to learn how to be a writer, trying to learn how to be a musician and just kind of getting after it. And it was funny when I moved back to Canada in the summer of 2021, I was kind of like taking a break from music professionally. Like always going to do it. It's always in my family. But I was kind of taking a step back and I was just playing shows for fun. And me and my buddy booked a show at the Roxy in Vancouver. And we just happened to be there at the same time as some label folks. And we started talking and yeah, it's exciting. It couldn't have happened at a better time because I was kind of burning out, but it's kind of reignited the fire a little bit. And I'm excited for the future with them. They've been good to me so far. We're just kind of in the middle of all the behind the scenes stuff, putting together, content and albums and plans and all that. So,
hey, everything happens for a reason. Yeah, that's insane. Like
crazy.
Right moment, right timing. Like it's crazy how the world works sometimes.
Yeah. No, I'm grateful for sure.
And Roxy Sundays.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, that's what we got the opening spot. I think I opened and I played for 15 people probably.
15
But
people?
yeah, but Jax, one of the girls from the label, her husband was there and he was doing the radio part of it.
That's all that
Kind of
matters. As long as they were
like
there,
it's
that's
the
all
old,
that.
yeah, like the old stereotypical Discovery in some random bar kind of thing.
No, I love it. I love it. It's
Yeah.
so much better than, I mean, it's still good to be discovered on like social media, but I think that just makes it so much more like human in a way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. More traditional, I'd say. Yeah. Yeah.
a lot more traditional.
Yeah.
Well, this summer is going to be off to a great start, and you're kicking it off technically a country mixtape tour with Andrew Hyatt, Tyler Joe Miller, and Sean Austin in Kelowna on April
Yeah.
the 9th, I believe. April the 9th?
Yep. Next week.
Yeah. So how excited
Excited.
are you for that?
Very excited. I spent a little bit of time around Andrew. I know him a bit, and he's a super nice guy. I met Tyler, also a super nice guy. I never hung around with Austin at all, but yeah, no, I'm grateful they asked me. I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, Great artists, great vibe. I haven't been in that bar. It's brand new, so
Have you gotten to meet like Sean, Tyler, and Andrew yet?
I met Andrew. Like I hung out. Andrew's on 604 as well, so I hung
Oh,
out with him a little bit at the CCMAs. I met Tyler in passing a few times. Great guys. Austin, I haven't met him, but seems like a great dude. I'm looking forward to the show for sure.
yeah, they're all great guys, and they're all good singers, like really
Yeah,
good singers.
yeah. You just interviewed Austin, didn't you?
Yeah, I just interviewed John Oz. I've talked to him a couple of times, and I love that guy. He's first off, he's so down to earth, and
Yeah,
he's such a good singer, like a really good
yeah,
singer. He just had a baby boy. I'm like, congratulations, so exciting! And then now the tour, it's wild.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy. Good to
Yeah,
see the boys getting busy.
it's so nice. Summer is finally here, and it's so exciting because I feel like it's been winter for far too long.
No,
A
and
friend
was it not? Was it snowing there yesterday or something? I thought I saw some friends post
in
some stories.
Toronto, right?
Yeah, something like that.
In Toronto, there was a snowstorm the day that I left Toronto, which was on Tuesday. There was a snowstorm then, and I think there was another one yesterday because I saw same thing. I saw pictures of snow. I'm like, what is going on?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Crazy.
How would you say though, the weather has been here? Like, when exactly did you come back to your hometown to move there? Was it was recent, right? Or like a couple months
Yeah,
ago?
it was like 3 months ago, probably. And then before that, I was in Kelowna for a little bit.
Okay, that's so fair then. So you still understand like the weather here now. What would you say? This like winter has been a bad winter or it's been a good winter? Because to me from Ontario, this is a good winter.
Yeah, it depends what you mean by good and bad. It depends. I would say bad in the sense that like it wasn't really a winter. You know what I mean? It wasn't that cold. There wasn't that much snow. Obviously, being from the mountains, we do a lot of skiing, snowmobile, and stuff like that. So in that sense, it's bad, but it's been great. It's been very mild at the same time. So yeah, it's been weird. It's just been a weird one. It was like it wasn't gonna happen until up, up to January, February, and then it kind of kicked in. You know what I mean?
And
So
it snowed, I think it only snowed like, well, down here, obviously like up more north, I'm sure it snowed a lot more. But where I am,
yeah,
it snowed twice. And
yeah,
when it snowed here, the stereotype of people can't drive is so true here.
yeah. No, the city
Oh,
for sure.
how
Yeah.
about where you're from? Please tell me people can drive there.
Oh, well, they have to. I mean, the only way to get to town here is through all the windies and through the mountains. So you got to know what you're doing a little bit. It's not like Alberta where you're just driving a straight line for an hour. And it's a little different than Kelowna. Kelowna is pretty mild. You don't get much snow there, so it's socked in pretty good here. So you got to know what you're doing. Got to keep your head on a swivel for sure.
Okay, well, I'm glad that they know how to drive there because yes,
Yeah,
definitely need to know how to drive, especially in those conditions.
yeah.
But since it's the summertime, I want to ask you, what would you say is the best place to go for a hike?
For a hike,
Yeah, for a hike, to get a nice view.
well, I mean, Vancouver's got a lot. Vancouver's funny because it's like a big city, but it's surrounded by what feels like not a big city. It feels like you're in the mountains. I haven't spent much time on the coast, so I would imagine there's a lot of good hikes up there in the mountains. I know where I'm at, there's mountains forever and so many beautiful hikes, so many giant peaks where you can get some great views. And I love nothing more than a good view and a good hike.
Yeah. On a nice sunny day.
Yeah, it's the best.
But give me a name. I need a name because I'm making a list here. So you
Oh,
have
you're making a plan. Um, go to the Okanagan and go to like there's some easy ones. I'm trying to think of what you're trying to get at, like a good trek.
like a good trek that leads to a stunning view.
Yeah,
Not
there's a few of
too
those.
hard,
Like,
because I'm from
there's a few small ones in the Okanagan, like Kelowna. If you climb top of Mount Boucherie or climb
okay.
to the top of Knox, um, you can see all through the valley. You can see everything from Kelowna down to Penticton. So that's the only area that I'm really that familiar with. Where I'm from here, I mean, there's a place called Saddleback Mountain because the mountain kind of looks like a saddle here in town, and it's like a 3 hour hike, but you can see the valley both ways, and it's beautiful.
Okay.
Put Saddleback on your list for sure.
Okay, fair enough. I've been making this list since like I went to Alberta last year. I'm like, I'm trying to get all these places, and I'm sure people listening would be like, I'm gonna go check that place out if they're in BC, which I hope they are.
Yeah, well, that's where all the good ones would be is BC for sure.
Yeah, BC is stunning. This place is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Nobody's been here. You guys got to definitely come and check it out. There's so much to see, and the talent here as well. I feel like people don't realize how, like in Ontario, there's a lot of country singers, like a lot, but in BC as well, there's so many here, and I feel
Yeah,
like people need to realize that a lot more because there's just so much talent like
yeah.
across Canada, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say Canada as a whole, like I feel like it gets overlooked obviously with Nashville and the
Yeah.
big machine down there, but there's a lot of very talented artists here, a lot of very talented writers. I'm just kind of breaking into that whole scene right now, so I'm just kind of getting to know everybody, and there's so many talented people. It's great.
There's a lot, especially when you start going to like award shows more often and then going to go check out concerts and this and that. And then once you start to get to know everybody in the industry, so many people to meet. And then you're going to realize there's even more talent than what you thought there already was.
Yeah, no doubt. Keeps you on your toes too, keeps you writing and trying to put out your best.
It does. It really does. All right, Mitch. Well, before I let you go, we're going to play a little game here. All right?
All right.
Okay, so get to know you. We're going to ask you this or that question, okay?
Okay.
Would you rather have a beer or a whiskey?
In my early 20s, whiskey. Now beer for sure.
What's your favorite beer?
I'm a big Michelob guy. Love Michelob. Anything, I don't know, honestly, I'm not that picky, but I had to pick one. That's what it would be.
Fair enough. Okay, boots or sneakers?
Boots.
Boots. You look like a boots guy.
Yeah. Cowboy boots, hiking boots, working boots, don't matter, but boots.
Fair enough. Actually, I noticed your hat. You have it in red and you have it in green. So, which is your favorite, the green or the red?
I have a black one as well. That would be my favorite.
Black. That's
Yeah.
fair. Okay. Skiing or snowmobiling?
I'm just getting into snowmobiling. It's so much fun. I would say in a year or two, I'm probably gonna say snowmobiling, but just because I'm way better at skiing, I'll go skiing.
Okay, fair enough. How about hiking or going for a walk?
Hiking, for
Hiking.
sure.
And
Love
now
being
hiking is, yeah, it's beautiful. Nashville or BC?
Or what? BC? Hmm.
There are two different reasons why you would pick,
Yeah, I was gonna say two.
but
Probably.
you had to.
I would say. Oh man, that's tough. I have to pick BC. There's nothing like the mountains. There's nothing like the lakes. Home fishing. Um, it's beautiful here,
It's stunning.
and you can zoom right, and you can write on Zoom. So still,
Very
yeah, easy.
Very true. Okay, and last one. This is more so towards more music. Do you like that acoustic sound or a full produced song?
Depends on the song. I think some songs call for the acoustic kind of. I love the way Zach Bryan, I know everybody brings up Zach Bryan, but I love the way his recordings are because, like, to be honest, they're terrible, but they're like so unique and so bad that they're great. So I like being in the room. The acoustic vibe is, yeah, it just depends on the song.
Okay, and actually, speaking of Zach Bryan, let's throw this one in there. Last one. Zach Bryan or Morgan Wallen?
I knew you were gonna say that. I have to go with Zach.
Zach.
ZB for sure.
Okay, I like it. I support it. I support it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Mitch, for joining me
Yeah.
today. It was awesome getting to know you a little bit more and getting to chat with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Celine. I really appreciate it. This is great.